How's it going, Ram fans? Welcome back to another edition of CTV Sports. I'm Mike Walsh.
And I'm Brooklyn Martinez. Here's what we've got on tap for you tonight.
Colorado State football had their spring game this past weekend, but also had a familiar name called in the draft.
Track, golf, tennis, and softball continue to approach the end of their seasons.
Plus, a look at the postseason standings for both the NBA and NHL.
All that and more right here on CTV Sports, which starts right now.
Starting it off on a different foot today, we go to the CSU softball team that hosted a triple-header this past weekend. Celebrating both pink out and green out on their senior day, the Rams had a tough three-game bout with the Fresno State Bulldogs. And in their first matchup, the green and gold did their job and defended home field, winning 7-0 with a huge home run in the second inning from redshirt sophomore Abby Edwards. The Rams just piled it on after that, scoring all 7 runs in that inning. However, the next 2 games were less of the same, as the green and gold dropped both matches. First losing 3-8 just hours after that first win on the back of Kaylin English's 2 runs. The other Rams just didn't do enough, and then finishing off their weekend with a senior day loss 2-10 in just 6 innings. So a less than ideal second to last weekend for the regular season for the Rams, but still there were seniors to celebrate, as Jordan West, Morgan Crosby, Caroline Buffalo, Morgan Coleman, and Fort Collins native Brooke Bolander were all honored and thanked for their contributions to the Rams program. And for years, we have talked about these Rams, so we all know their impact here at CTV. It will be tough to see them go, but that's just the nature of the game. But that is enough softball for now. Brooklyn, what's the latest with football?
As the Colorado State Rams concluded their spring football practices with the annual Green and Gold Spring Game on April 26th, head coach Jay Norvell expressed satisfaction with the team's progress, noting that their needs, wants, and hopes were met during the off-season preparations. The Rams played in a scrimmage-like game where they focused on the small things, tackling, running backs breaking contact, and seeing the backup quarterbacks in action. We saw a lot of good things Saturday afternoon. The wide receivers making plays, the tight ends blocking defense, and the O-line making room in the pocket for whoever is at quarterback. Here's what head coach Jay Norvell had to say when asked about picking up new talent to add to the Rams roster.
Yeah, we would like to bring in some defensive linemen. We need to get a little bit bigger, and we'll probably sign about 4 or 5 more defensive players. If there's a tight end out there, if there's a jack, an outside linebacker out there, there's a corner out there that we like. We might even entertain a receiver. But right now, it's more guys that can move the needle for us and help us win this fall.
Norvell emphasizes the importance of situational awareness, incorporating unique game-like scenarios into daily practices. These drills and scenarios are inspired by his past coaching experiences and are aimed to help the team in those crisis game time moments. With the spring practices concluded, the Rams turn their attention to the upcoming season, aiming to build foundation during the off-season. With summer workouts and plenty of time to nail the small things, the Rams know that they need to outwork many difficult teams on their schedule come August to secure those wins. The Rams are set to play their first game on the road against Washington on August 30th.
The CSU track and field team hosted their first ever border duel with Wyoming this past Saturday. And although the final score was 127-123 in favor of the Cowboys, the Rams still saw some personal bests. Starting off the day, the green and gold saw a multitude of top 3 finishes. In throws, Maya Lesner claimed the win in the hammer throw, while Adam Hellbaum took the title in the discus with an insane 169 8.5 inches throw for the first place spot. But after that, the Rams took first in the women's and men's 100-meter with wins from Cole Norman and Kaylin Heath, and ended the day with an electrifying 200-meter finish from Travis Turner and Jack Cobble, both setting personal bests. This meet was used as somewhat of a preparation period, as the Doug Christie Invitational this weekend will feature a lot more of the Rams' first-string runners. But some of them still competed, so overall a good warm-up for everyone. But make sure to tune in next week to hear the final report on the track team season before they head off to the conference championships.
Colorado State men's golf finished tied for 4th at the Mountain West Championships in Creswell, Oregon, posting a team score of 842. The Rams surged with a record tying 20 under second round, briefly taking the lead before the eventual champion San Diego State pulled through. Jay Pabin led CSU with an 11 under 205, tying for 4th individually. Christoph Blair finished 14th at 7 under, while Jake Rogers placed 19th thanks to a 7 under 65 in round 2. Matthew Wilkinson and Alessandro Trento rounded out the lineup, each noting key birds throughout the weekend. The Rams now await word on a potential NCAA regional selection, with announcements coming May 1st.
While the women's tennis team may have concluded their season this past week, there is already some promising news for next season, with 2 new players set to join the squad. And with a 4-18 overall record this past season, Miley Tran and staff could use a big switch in their play. First up is senior Hannah Haber, who will join the Rams after 3 seasons at Metro State. Playing at the top line in both doubles and singles, Haber had her best season this past year, putting up an overall record of 13-10 in doubles and 14-9 in singles. And next is a freshman out of South Bend, Indiana, Anishka Amalnathan, who played at St. Joseph's High School and was a 3-time All-State selection. Amalnathan brings a winning pedigree to the team as the number 3 player in the state of Indiana, and as a freshman, she will be a key piece of the program for years to come. But again, the Rams season is over for the spring, so be sure to tune in next fall for more updates. Now, though, we're going to take a quick break, but stick around for all things professional sports.
Welcome to CTV, the student-run TV station here on campus. With 3 shows a week, we have a lot going on, but don't just take my word for it.
Prefer exciting sports over the boring news? Join us at Tuesday Night Sports for some private athlete coverage, interviews, and some live game updates. We'll see you then.
And on Wednesdays, that's when things get really entertaining. Whether you're hiking out in nature, rocking with a local band, or hosting your own game show, the possibilities are endless.
As Northern Colorado's only broadcast news station, our news team is dedicated to bringing you in-depth and accurate reporting every Thursday.
If you prefer working behind the scenes, Studio Crew may be the place for you. You can operate cams, a switchboard, or direct your own show. And it makes you look really cool.
And that's really only scratching the surface. Come work with an award-winning TV station
Here at CTV.
Welcome back from the break, and getting right into it, we're going to break down some of the biggest winners and losers of this past NFL draft.
Yeah, Mike, but first we have to start with the biggest winner in all Ram fans' hearts, Torrey Horton.
Got to talk about him going to the Seahawks in the 5th round. How do you guys like this fit?
Absolute steal for the Seahawks.
Yep.
They drafted actually 2 Mountain West receivers, so they actually respect Mountain West. So
Agreed.
good pick up.
No, I thought it was a great pick for the Seahawks. I mean, him and Smith and Jigba could be a duo for the next 5-10 years.
Losing DK, losing Tyler Lockett, it seems like they're opening up a spot for Torrey Horton to just fit right in there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, with his talent, I think they could develop him too. They've already developed a couple of receivers, and with Darnold now, I think he could be good for
Exactly,
them.
and they got Milroe too. So Milroe's a possibility to step in for Darnold if he plays like he did in the playoffs. But we'll see. But I mean, that guy's name will be in the record books forever, and agreed with Hunter. The Seahawks got an absolute steal.
Yeah.
But now let's get to some team evaluation. Starting off with the New York Giants, I know, AJ, you got a lot to say about this.
Yeah, I thought they won the draft. I thought they got an A+. I mean, they got arguably the best player in the draft, and then traded up and got their guy, who the coach, Brian Dable, believes
Apparently he's his guy, yeah.
And the late rounds is really where they excelled too. They got Cam Scatterbo, who will be a great duo with Tyrone Tracy. They got a great O-lineman. They always need help on the O-line. I mean, it's the Giants. More D-line help. I just can't see how they didn't win. I think they nailed every pick.
I mean, I don't want to go as far as to say they won, but it sounds like they had a really good draft, and they addressed the exact needs that they had. Although, I don't know. Jackson Dart's just not my favorite player.
I don't like the trade up for Jackson Dart.
Like,
I don't think you needed to trade up.
I wouldn't have minded them picking him at that original pick, but trading up for him, like, it's just, he's not that player to me at least. So I guess we just have to wait and see.
Second QB off the board too. Crazy.
Yeah. He does need to develop. I mean,
sure.
That's why they got Russ and Jameis, so they could develop him for a year.
I just don't know if those guys are even going to play well enough for you to be like, I can develop this guy for a year. I feel like I almost need to throw Dart in.
Yeah, we could. And I mean, it's Dable's guy. I mean, if this doesn't work out, he's gone, and we all know that.
I definitely agree with that. If Dart in this draft class overall doesn't work, Dable's definitely gone.
Yeah, he's done for.
And while the Giants were successful, I think the Packers also had a pretty solid draft.
Yeah, I know.
Finally drafted a receiver, first time since 2002, Matthew Golden.
Yep.
Helping the offensive line, obviously, for Jordan Love, and then grabbing another receiver from TCU.
He's really good.
He is
really
so good.
underrated.
So underrated. So I think the Packers had another good draft. I love Matthew Golden. I think he's going to be a huge spot this year, especially with missing Christian Watson and towards ACL in Week 18. So.
And I mean, I agree with you. That was the Packers' biggest need by far last year was receivers. I mean, they have good ones, but they're kind of just guys that you just found randomly on free agency almost. Now they got some guys that they drafted and we know are first-round talents like Matthew Golden, so I agree. It's definitely a big win.
I think I saw Dobbs and Wicks drop like 10 combined passes.
Exactly. That's the point. You need guys that are catching the ball, and you need guys that are going to score, and Golden scores a lot. So
I mean, they needed help badly.
Yeah.
So now we're done with the winners. Let's switch over to the teams that are being viewed as losers by the analysts. Unfortunately, starting off with the closest team to us, the Broncos.
I know you guys kind of agreed, right? You guys say this is a lose for the Broncos?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
I was interested. I thought they were going to take Matthew Golden with that first pick, but they go defensive back.
Yeah.
It's all right. I like R.J. Harvey there, but I don't know. It just...
Okay, I'm kind of feeling the opposite. That's the pick I don't like, is the R.J. Harvey pick. I feel like we have running backs that are similar to that kind of short, just speedy guy. Jaleel McLaughlin is literally that prototype. So I just don't get wasting a second-round pick on a guy that wasn't like the best running back in the country. He was probably top 5 in most things, but the only pick that I really liked was the cornerback, Jedin Barron, just because he's really good. So he'll fit in. We need cornerbacks, obviously. We saw Riley Moss got hurt last year. Who did we turn to? No one. And honestly, when Riley Moss got back, he still got cooked. So it's like I think Barron was definitely a need for the Broncos.
I thought the pick for them was Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought right there they needed another receiver. I thought that was the playmaker they were going to go with. Barron's a good corner.
How do we feel about Pat Bryant out of Illinois? I watched a few good games, but that's all I can say, is that I watched a few good games.
It's Illinois. They don't really throw the ball. Exactly. That's the thing. You just never know what those receivers.
It's a receiver out of Illinois.
Big Ten.
Yeah, so I think overall, I guess it's I'd grade it a C. You guys are saying what, D and F
I would
for the
say
Broncos?
a D or an F for the Broncos.
Okay, that's fine. But I think that's enough of stepping around the biggest elephant in the room. I think you all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We have to talk about Shedeur Sanders and his infamous slide in this draft. I couldn't even fathom this. I mean, he was a top 5 pick in most drafts. How does this happen?
I think it's just personality-wise. This is bigger than football. I mean, you saw 5 QBs go before him. You saw the Browns pick Dylan Gabriel and then pick him. It doesn't make any sense at all. I think this pick was honestly forced by the Browns, by their GM. So
they didn't even seem happy about it when they made the pick.
No.
And as much as I don't like Shedeur, picking Dylan Gabriel over him should be a crime.
Right.
I mean, it's a 5'10".
And then drafting him after doing that. I just feel like it's ultimate disrespect to do that.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a pity pick in that round because they were like, is anyone going to draft this guy?
Exactly.
Like, that's where I almost feel like the Browns went. Or, someone just called them and like, hey, we'll give you a few extra bucks if you draft this guy. Like, I just don't know what the need was. If they already drafted Dylan Gabriel, they're like, this is our rookie QB. Why draft Shedeur Sanders?
They already had 4 quarterbacks in the roster.
Right, and none of them are good. That's the issue right now with the Browns is none of them are good. None of them have proven anything. So I just don't know where they're going with this direction.
And Gabriel and Sanders, same draft class. What are you going to do? Release one of them in 2 years? It doesn't work. They're just praying they're going to hit on one of them.
And what did they do the Kenny Pickett trade for? Why did they trade a fifth rounder for Kenny Pickett if this
none of these moves seem like they're being done by the same person. It feels like they have 5 GMs that are making separate moves.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but maybe the Browns will turn something into, I don't know.
Who knows who knows?
I mean, they went to the playoffs with Flacco, so I mean, the Browns can pretty much do everything.
Their defense is always good.
Right.
But the video of the GM and you saw the coach was happy with the Shedeur pick and the GM.
I will say their first pick, Mason Graham, I love. Mason Graham's a dog, and him next to Myles Garrett, I mean, that's a scary defensive line. So that pick, I like, but you're right. Everything else, I don't get from the Browns.
Yeah, one of the craziest draft slides we have ever seen easily, and I think it was a surprise to a lot of people.
Agreed for sure, but he was drafted and so many others along with him, but now the NFL news is over until probably next fall, unless you want to talk about it this summer. So let's switch it up and do some NHL news, which I know we don't do a lot, and I don't watch the most hockey, but I think most of us are pretty well informed, just what the teams are, some players. So let's take a look at their bracket right now for the race to the Stanley Cup. I know you guys got your favorites. I'm pretty much just cheering for the Avs right now. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, definitely cheering for the Avs. They're one of the title favorites. I think get out of the first round against the Stars. But I'm looking at the Panthers, who won it last year, up 3-1 in their series, playing a good Lightning team. Just beat them at home. Took 2 against the Lightning, so I like the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
My sleeper team was the Devils, but Jack Hughes got injured during the season, and they've kind of slipped to Carolina here, who is probably the best team right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was my sleeper pick, but I got to go with Carolina now that they're going to be.
Yeah, I'd say for me right now, I mean, Oilers, I like McDavid. I really don't watch a lot of hockey. McDavid looks really good. If it's not the Avs, I'm probably going with the Oilers. Yeah. But I think we got to talk about some other teams.
Yeah, so. Ram fans will probably be rooting for the Avs. So let's just take a closer look at this series. Currently down 3-2, losing last night 6-2 to the Stars.
That was a rough one.
That was rough. I mean,
Did you guys watch that game?
I did watch it. I mean, they scored 9 seconds into the game. It's just like unbelievable, which is crazy because every time the Avs are favored in these games, and then they they never pull it out. I don't know. The Stars are normally their kryptonite. They lost to them in 5 games last year, so they got gentlemen swept 1 game 1 and then lost 4 in a row. So I don't know. Back home, I think it's Thursday night, so hopefully they can get it done and force a game 7, but things are not looking great.
I mean, it's going to take a full team effort. I mean, 6 goals is a lot of goals.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're going to need to do a lot different in this next game.
I feel like it always comes down to goalie play.
Yeah.
It always somehow comes down to what the goalie does, and I mean, a goal in the first 9 seconds, that's not very good.
How does that even happen? You win the face-off, go right down?
It kills
that is
momentum
ridiculous.
immediately. You're just, it feels like a shot in the stomach just right away. I don't know how you have to recover from that so fast, and clearly they didn't recover at all.
I mean, you sit there and shut them out in game 4, and then you're going to Dallas. You have momentum.
It just
and then
feels
the first
like
9
such
seconds.
different games almost when you watch these 2 different games, but I don't know.
It does. And
Other teams,
Sorry, Mike. And while some teams may not be as well known, we have to talk about them, starting with the Florida Panthers, who are currently matched up with the Lightning.
Yeah,
I know. Hunter, you said that's your favorite right now, right?
Yeah, that is definitely my favorite. Like I said, they got the Kachuk brothers. They won it last year, so I don't know how they are not the favorite, honestly, odds-wise.
I mean, they're close to the favorite, right? Them and Carolina are kind of the top 2.
Right.
I could see with Kachuk and, I mean, Reinhart, I think they've got a good squad, but
definitely.
I don't know. I think Carolina's just, I think they're the most complete team right now. I've watched them against the Devils.
I'll tell you this, the only games I watched last year were the Stanley Cup when the Panthers were winning it and the Chuck brothers you're saying. I don't know how I know their name right now. They looked really good in those games, so I agree with you. The Panthers are looking like a favorite out of that side of the bracket.
And then we got to talk about our third team here, the Oilers. They got to be discussed. Mike and AJ, what are your thoughts on their
Again, like I said, McDavid. I mean, he's looked like the best player that I've seen. Obviously, McKinnon, I think, go hand in hand. I think they're really good players. Yeah. But I like watching McDavid, though. So.
No, I mean, you can never bet against him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they lost the first 2 and then won 2 at home. They play in LA tonight, so hopefully they can get it done.
You guys did go against McDavid, though, in the Canada versus
USA. He did. We were on McDavid.
Just me.
Mike and Leo were on Team USA.
I was trying to go being American, you know. That doesn't mean I don't like McDavid, you know. He's still a great hockey player. So
that was a legendary shot. He's a great player.
No, I can't hate on it. So a few historic franchises that we're talking about at the top of the sport. These playoffs are probably going to get more exciting in these next few rounds, for sure.
Yeah, Mike, unfortunately, that's all the hockey news we have for now, so we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, it's another NBA playoff update.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie.
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon?
I can do fireball. That'll do a lot of damage.
Yeah, to all of us.
Well,
We're in a 4-foot
I'm sorry. What else do you want me to do?
Okay. Hold on. All right, wizard. What do you do? Wizard.
I don't think I'm into this kind of stuff fully. I can't do it. Hey, I think I'm pretty anxious. I'm just.
No, we can pause this.
We can take a break.
Let me go get some water.
Yeah,
Grab
another day.
snack. Yes, we're good.
Right now, and then it'll come back out.
Okay.
And then.
Welcome back from the final break of the Night Rams and yet another NBA update. First, let's do the obvious thing and take a look at the bracket.
I think we have to. I mean, it's looking pretty lopsided on the east side. That's all I'll say. 3-1, 3-1, 4-1, and 4-0. I mean, these series are pretty much decided, and the Knicks are playing right now. The Celtics also playing right now, so we could see the East be finished tonight for the first round.
The East has a few teams that really shouldn't be in the playoffs in any season. They really just the Heat.
The play-in, man. It's save the Heat.
The 10 seed going.
Who do you guys like out of both these conferences?
Yeah, I actually like the Cavs. I mean, beating the Heat by 50, I know it's a team that was like probably dead,
Banged
just
up,
wanted to go home, but I like the Cavs. I like that matchup with the Pacers. I'm not really high on the Pacers at all. So, and I think the Celtics are just banged up right now. You got Drew Holiday out, Jason Tatum who knows what's up with him.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the Cavs out of the East.
I'm going to stick with Warriors Celtics. That's
Celtics.
been my finals pick. I think it is.
Yeah.
The way the Warriors have looked, the Rockets are a great defensive team.
Yeah,
And
right.
when Jimmy Butler plays, they look unstoppable.
Yeah.
So I can't go against
Honestly,
that.
I got to agree with you. The Cavs looked really good. I know, again, you said it's a bad team,
Right,
but I still think the Cavs have got to be talked about. But I think the full bracket, we can keep talking about that, but we obviously have predictions that we don't know if they'll come true.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little more in-depth, starting with the Nuggets. We obviously have to talk about the homer, and I think probably the best series in these playoffs so far.
Oh, easily the best series. I mean, this team had a 22-point lead going into the fourth and then blew it. I mean, we watched it together. I mean, just a crazy game.
Well, so the start of this game was good. I mean, it was back and forth. I mean, we were getting a little upset. You saw this Jokic 3 here. Obviously, there was huge momentum. Just this whole game felt like back and forth until that final fourth quarter just really felt like it fell apart for the Nuggets.
No.
And I was talking about how playoff Jamal, he didn't really come alive till the fourth quarter. I mean, we haven't really been seeing him like we usually see playoff Jamal, but he's getting there.
But losing that lead, I mean, it hurts. So I think you have to talk specifically about that game winner from Aaron Gordon. I mean, I think that's a shot heard around the world for all Nuggets fans. I mean, this was insane. I don't know why Jokic took the shot. First of all, is what I should say here.
Yeah.
Like this shot, love it. We're a great shot. That's what you usually take, Jokic.
Yeah.
They score here. We go back to the other end. I do not get why Jokic does this. But obviously, Aaron Gordon with the save, literally by, I think, .0001 seconds. Like, this was one of the closest game winners I've ever seen.
Definitely.
And his finger was also, like, in the rim. So this is crazy.
It's like, when does it leave his hand? But then it's also in the basket. Just crazy. But like AJ was saying, why is Jamal Murray not taking that shot? This is the guy that thrives in these situations. So
Agreed.
Playoff Jamal has to step up if they're going to win tonight.
Yeah.
And I think it got overlooked to the Zubac. I mean, he's really been an animal.
Yes.
Like, we've talked about the most improved player.
Turns up against Jokic, dude. He always does.
There's just something about playing against him that he just loves.
Again, even with... I just don't know why Jokic is doing that. You need 2 points. You should be doing what you do best and going at one guy and just dribbling into the paint, posting him up. I don't get the shot. He got lucky. He got bailed out in my
They got so lucky because they had no momentum. They would have lost that game in overtime.
Was it 20 points they came back from?
Yeah.
So, again, that should scare the Nuggets for tonight that they were able to score 20 points that fast.
That's the reason they're an underdog at home.
Right.
While the Nuggets are struggling, some other notable teams are up 3-1. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think the East, I think they do close it out tonight. But looking at the West, I don't know. With that Warriors-Rockets one, I feel like the Rockets still got to take one. I think their Lakers have to take one. I don't know. What do you guys think about those West series?
Lakers definitely take one tomorrow night. Elimination game at home. Same with the Rockets. They have to take Game 5 to at least have a chance at all.
I think the Lakers will come back. I mean, I think they'll at least force a game. Not fully, but at least force a Game 7.
Really?
I don't think LeBron will go down like this in what could be the last year of his career.
That's what people say. And then look what happened last year. They lost to 5 in the Nuggets.
I'm not seeing that. I don't think this is his last year. I think he's still at least got another year in him. But I agree. This would be a bad end, especially 4-1. I think he at least wins one more game in that series. Honestly, I think the Warriors close it out. I just don't think the Rockets have the experience, especially like you saw in those late game situations. Draymond just plays harder defense, and that's all that mattered. So
the Warriors just play harder defense than the Rockets. I mean, they're known for their defense, but the Warriors are just playing better overall defense, so can't go against them.
And speaking of the Wolves are just so hot right now. Anthony Edwards looking like a top 3 player in the NBA right now, I would say. Yeah, I would say top 3. I mean, this guy is just... Yeah, he's taking it to everyone. Clutch bucket after clutch bucket. Yeah, he had 43 in Game 4. That's what they needed from him. Huge 3-year, but I mean, just a crazy.
Literally, the line when the game is on the line on my prime is Anthony Edwards. He never misses in the clutch time. If he has a shot, he's probably going to make it.
Top 3 might be a little bit of a stretch, but
right now it might be a little bit of a stretch. But I can see it, in the near future. But I think he's definitely playing like a top 5 at least. I mean, if you're taking down Luka and LeBron, this team that we were like, they're going to win everything. I mean,
taking out KD last year too.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly Steph next. I mean, this guy, it's unbelievable. He's 23. I mean, we got 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds in college.
Yeah.
This dude is 23. Hasn't even hit his prime yet.
So the real question is, I saw this on a sports talk show this morning: is Luka or Ant Edwards winning their first ring?
I mean, I think you have to say Ant because, like, you feel like they're going to win it this year.
Oh,
or at least have a chance
this year.
Okay, but they're going to get a closer. I don't know. It depends.
Okay,
I got to go Luka.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. He took that Mavs team to the finals. We've seen.
I think the Lakers will load up for him one of these years before Ant Edwards at least.
They're going to take
in my opinion.
For sure.
Right.
And for the final team of the night, let's go to one of the greatest venues in sports, Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks are looking to end their series tonight.
They're playing right now. I don't know what was the score before the show started.
I think
Pistons were up like 3.
Okay.
Something.
Okay. I mean, they
Yeah.
compete in
It's
every
back and
game.
forth.
The Pistons are guaranteed to compete.
Yeah.
And it's going to come down to the wire. Usually, I don't know. Last game, we could talk about a rivalry with that last not foul call on Tim Hardaway.
The Pistons definitely do compete. I'll
Yeah.
give them that. Cade
Yep.
Cunningham is a great player. He's super underrated. But playoff Brunson.
Right.
I mean, Jalen Brunson in the playoffs. People continue to underrate this man.
Agreed,
He
agreed,
takes the
agreed.
Knicks to every win. He carries them to every win in the playoffs.
I get it. But I think that's their downfall. I think he can do it
Yeah.
against teams like this, but they play teams like the Celtics, and if it's just Jalen Brunson doing the load of like what they need to win, they're not going to get anywhere. So I agree. If everyone else steps up like they should and like they're paying them to, the Knicks could win the championship. But they just don't. It feels like fourth quarters, third quarters, it's just Brunson. It feels like he's the only one scoring.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know, maybe that's a Brunson problem. Maybe he's taking too many shots, but when it's just him, it feels like the team is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. There are games where Cat and McCall are kind of nowhere to be
Yeah.
found, so that is kind of a downgrade for the Knicks.
I mean,
but-
Cat made some big shots last game, so I mean that's huge. But it's the other guys that you need the offensive production from if you're going to beat other teams. The Pistons are a young team, haven't made the playoffs in forever. I mean, you're kind of expected to beat this team. So for me,
and it's
yeah.
3-1, but this is the most competitive 3-1 series I have ever
Right,
seen.
yeah.
I mean, this is a team that's a foul away
Yeah.
from 2-2. So
Yeah.
I don't like the Knicks next round
Yeah,
personally.
but I don't know. I think I'm going Cavs out of the East. I'm going Thunder out of the West.
Yeah. Cavs and Wolves.
Celtics Warriors. I got to stick with it.
And I know we just got to wait. And we got to wait and see how all these series play out. With so many series at 3-1 now, 4-1, 2-2, they're everywhere. The second round is shaping up to be a competitive battle in both the East and the West.
Yeah, Mike, but unfortunately, that is all the sporting news we've got for you tonight, Ram fans. Make sure to tune in to CTV Sports all week for more news and entertainment. Stay safe and have a great rest of your night.